Hi and welcome to the Kevin Campbell Show. It's me, Kev Campbell, and
a very happy Lee Judges today,
finally we get a win under our belt, so we're happy, but we still got things to address.
Yeah, definitely, things to talk about.
So Lee, look, the 5 things I think that Arsenal need to answer or address are the following. How serious are the board about getting a proper manager in? That's one question.
Wow.
That's one question. 2, and it's not controversial, but it's going to cut quite near to the bone for us. Has the move from Highbury been a curse? That's number 2. Number 3 is, why is the defence so poor? Obviously, last night, a great win in the end, but for an hour, we were awful. And, you know, our defence again looked all over the place. Number 4 was, where are the big name players? Because when stuff's going wrong, that's where you want your characters and your big time players to step up. Some have, some haven't. So we're going to address that one. And I thought we'd go on to a little bit of a positive at the end.
Finish it with a bit of
Finish it with a bit of positivity. And, you know, look, we've been through the mill not winning the game before last night from the 6th of October. So the question is, what do you want to see that's positive moving forward with the football club? Because I think, especially with what's been going on over the last few weeks, obviously with Emery losing his job, etc., we just got the first win after since October the 6th last night. We need some positivity, don't we? Especially going into a tough stretch of games going into the Christmas period. How serious are the board about getting a proper manager in to manage this football club? No disrespect to Freddie, because I think Freddie done a decent job last night, and it's difficult for him after Emery lost his job. But this is my opinion. Obviously, you're going to give your opinion. My opinion is, Freddie, he hasn't really made much change to the teams that have played. He went a bit more positive yesterday, which was good, which was very good for us. But I still think an experienced manager needs to come in and shape this football club, shape the playing staff into what he wants. Because the way we're going, it's great to win, but I don't think we're over the tough part yet. We've got a tough run of games coming in December and etc. We've got some real big games. We've got some big difficult games. So, what's your thoughts on that, mate?
Well, I think like with the ball, I think I don't think they should be making a rash decision now. You know, we've got to get this right, and I think to me, whoever they choose will tell me, as a fan, what ambition and what they are. This board. What it's about, and I think it's a big call. If they go cheap and nasty, you know what I mean,
which can happen,
then I think we're in for trouble. But what I'm seeing at the moment, you know, yesterday helped. Winning yesterday helped. It just gives us a bit of breathing space to maybe, like, you know, to get the right person. Now they could be waiting for that person. He might have a holiday booked or something like that in Argentina. Yes. He might be doing something over there. We don't know, you know what I mean? So I'd rather than wait, get the right man in. But I think when you look about the board, let's be honest, Kev, you know, they should have done this in the international break, and it would have given Freddie a little bit of time to work with the players and everything like that. So that they didn't have they thought that Emery was going to turn it around. Yeah. That worries me, because like you could see it wasn't going to turn it around. Yeah. So they missed out on that little breathing space where we could have had a nice little few training sessions. Now games are coming thick and fast, which is more tougher for Freddie than ever. Yeah. So, you know, and it really now, I can't emphasise this enough. This will show us fans what the Cronkies and this board are all about when it comes to appointing this manager. But I'm fed up, Kevin. I'm fed up with people saying, "Oh, we've got to go down cheap route. We can't afford this and can't afford that." we can afford, if we want, the manager that we want, and that's what we've got to do. And I think, like, let's take our time a little bit, but and I think in a way that because we're taking our time, it does look like we are being serious. We're not making a
quick fire decision.
Yeah. So that isn't too bad.
But Lee, here's the question to you then, and I've had this going through my mind for such a long time now, over the days. If we have a bad December, how quick do the board move? If you get what my drift, because we knew we went into a run of games that were winnable games, and we fluffed our lines in the winnable games.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
And then now we've got some real tough games. So if we have a real bad December, are the board? We can't come back and start giving the board stick if they haven't appointed somebody. You know, they should be all out to try and, in my opinion, out to appoint somebody. Fair enough, they know it's in good hands with Freddie right now, but they should be trying to get their man, as far as I'm concerned. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think you did right. They should be like showing that they are going to go and get their man. Are they doing it behind the scenes? We don't know. This is the thing, you don't know. You know, they could be going to them, talking to it, who it's going to be. You know, if it is one of the guys that we're hoping it's to be, then, you know, it's got to be a little bit cloak and dagger, I suppose. I don't know, Kev. I really don't know how the process works.
But remember, we're only talking from our points of view.
Yeah, but
we don't know what they're doing.
I think if I was a board member, I would, with what you said, and from my point of view now, and what you've just said, with those big games coming up, I think that it would be a good thing if we got the manager in, and it would give us a boost, to give the fans a boost going into those big games.
Definitely.
So I think that's probably what they should be looking to doing. If they can't get that man until, say, after January, then we're just going to have to batten down the hatches and hope to get through the games. But that's how I see it.
One of the questions I got asked the other day, and I'm going to ask you because I think it was a really interesting question. Would you take a caretaker manager until the end of the season?
What, say someone like, well, he ruled himself out of it, like Benitez, or someone like that, to the end of the season.
Or a Hiddink, or you know, somebody who's got the experience, who could kind of steady the ship, but wouldn't be interested in a long-term plan.
And you know what I mean. I think that would be. I would be happy if they did do that. If it was to be one of the elite managers coming in.
If you knew he was coming.
If he's coming, so I would take that,
Right.
I would take that.
I would take it just for the stability of the club.
Yeah.
But obviously the manager's got to know there's no chance because the big boy's coming in at the end, you know what I mean? And
even if they said, like, we give it to Freddie to the end of the set, I think Freddie's got to get somebody alongside him with that's had a bit of experience. I look at the bench at the moment, you know, Mertesack's not coached at any sort of level in the Premier League.
High level.
So I think that somebody that's done it before to come in and give Freddie a hand would be a good thing as well if they were to go down that route.
Has the move from Highbury actually been a curse to us? Because, you know, there was a lot of things promised. There was a lot of talk, big talk, by the board about this is the only way we're going to be able to compete at the highest level. We're going to be up there with the likes of the Barcelonas and the Bayern Munichs and XYZ because it's going to bring more revenue into the club. But if we're honest, we've got a nice, lovely new stadium, or newish. But the playing staff and the squad are not what it reflects.
We had a fantastic conversation about this yesterday, going into the game yesterday. You know, when they turn around and say we've got no money.
Yeah.
So why did we leave Highbury then? We had no money when we left, and we've got no money now. You know, and what really pains me as a fan is that we get criticised a lot. You know what I mean, for not being patient and things like that. You know, yes, we've got no divine right to win a title. Mm-hmm. I get that. We never had done back in the days of Highbury. Mm-hmm. But what we had was a hope, and there was a chance that we might challenge, you know, and that's what we've got. All of that's been taken away from us. It's been taken away from us. But they've said to us, you know, over the years, pumping in money that we've done. You know, I go to the Emirates and there's shops around. You know, you've got 3 big stores round 2 round the ground and the one at Finchley Park, packed out, Kev. People, Arsenal fans, spending their money. Christmas is coming. Everybody's a little bit tight, mate, but they're still buying the merch.
Still buying the merch. Yeah.
Arsenal, you know, and Adidas are bringing out new ranges of stuff for people to go and buy, expecting us fans to keep putting our money in our pocket, and then on the other hand, them turning around and saying, well, we've got no money, we've got this and we haven't got that. For 10, 13 years, we've been pumping in money to be in a position where we could, which we were told to compete. Yeah. And we've not been doing that, but then we're not allowed to say nothing. We've got to keep quiet and everything like that. And there we are, at this moment in time, and you know, you can call me out on it or whatever, we're going mad because we've beaten West Ham, because at the end of the day, it's been nearly 2 months since we've had a win, you know.
Desperate time, wasn't it?
And we was desperate, you know. At half time we was desperate, you know. So for me, you know, we've been let down by the board and the powers of be of conned us. And the reason they can con us, Kev, is because we can't give up the Arsenal thing, you know. It's like, you know,
it's oxygen.
You know,
it's oxygen.
If it was, say, like, you know, Tesco's and Sainsbury's were doing a better deal down the road, you'll go there because you've got no luck. But with football, you can't. They've got us. Yeah. And they're squeezing it. And they know it, and they're squeezing it out of us, and there's nothing we can do. And from that boils the frustration, the anger, a little bit of toxic what's going on, and that, and a divide, because you've got fans that aren't really bothered by that, and some fans, well, you know, are not. And you're trying to get these fans to see it your way, and they're trying to see it your way, and it's causing a lot of trouble. Yeah. And you know, but the basics of it is that we've been conned for so long, and you know, you look at it and we're hurting. I think the fan base is hurting, not just from the results, but from the thing is, you know, that we're being conned. I feel like I'm being taken the mickey out of, and there's nothing I can do about it. And all you're doing is, when you go yesterday's game, is that you're hoping. There's nothing you can do as a fan. There's nothing you can. You know it. So as a player,
well, it was better as a player because you know what, you could affect the result. Yeah. You know, to an extent.
So you've seen both sides of it.
I've seen both sides.
But now you're just sitting there and you can't do nothing about it.
Can't do nothing. It is frustrating. You know, and the reason why I use the terminology as a curse was because there were tough times at Highbury. Let's not get it wrong. Yeah, exactly. There were real tough times at Highbury. But what Highbury stood for and what you actually saw at Highbury were the club moving into the direction to compete. And you're right, nobody has a divine right to win.
No.
But Arsenal, one thing you knew about Arsenal would have a goal to win. And seeing championship sides being put together, title winning teams, cup winning teams being put together and going out there week in, week out, and you knew what you were going to get. Yeah. You knew you were going to get fight. You knew you were going to get a Barney on the pitch if the opposition wanted it. You knew you were going to get decent football, but you could rely on what you were going to get by going to Highbury. Coming to the Emirates, of course, under Wenger, it was fantastic football, but for probably a decade, defensively,
it's just not been
Arsenal of that defence has been getting worse and worse. Yeah, and that's the curse for me, because we've been getting weaker. I see that as the curse, because at Highbury we're getting stronger.
Yeah, it's like now at the Emirates. The only way I can put it, it's like watching a village show, but paying West End prices. That is what we're doing at the moment. And going back to when we was at Highbury, when I first started supporting Arsenal, Liverpool were the dominant side, and you know, great side. There was Notts Forest and teams like that. We was never ever challenging for the title. Right? We never ever looking like and going to games. I never thought we was going to win the league. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, George Graham come along. and that's when it changed. So then we had the titles there, you know, which you was involved in, and then obviously like Arsene Wenger came in and the titles. And now they said, right, well, we're taking all that away from you, we're giving you the Emirates, and it's like I've gone right back into time where the new generation of fan now, well, we're never going to win the league. But they've hoodwinked us with all of this stuff in between, you know.
Yeah.
And when you was at Highbury, you went over to you chose Arsenal because of those certain things and all that. Like, you know, it's a completely different Arsenal now to what it was then. But all in the middle of that time now, we don't look like ever challenging for a title, you know. And people say to me, "Oh, it's not about money and all that," you know. But you have a look at Man City. In all the years that I've been following football, Manchester City were in one FA Cup final in '81. I've never seen them in a final since, but then all the money's come in and they've done it. But on the other hand, you have to have a look at it when the club's being run properly, like Leicester, that have not spent that money, are now in their fifth season, they've won a league and they're challenging again. You know, so it can be done if it's properly managed. I don't see you have to throw millions and millions of pounds at it. It does help because you've got to just look at Chelsea and Man City.
But Lee, you know, I really want to stay on this point because the squad that Arsenal had finished second in the league a few years back.
Yeah.
With the right recruitment.
Exactly.
Do you think that team could have challenged? I personally do.
Yeah.
I think they could have because that's some wonderful, wonderful players playing in a nice system.
Yeah. We had some fantastic players.
So again, is it the curse? Why moving to the Emirates, but all of those weak points that we needed to address still haven't been addressed even to this day?
Why wasn't they addressed? Because money situations. I think Van Persie is a great example of that because, you know, he wanted to see what we was going to do. You know, I know that he's come out and said that, but theory is that, you know what I mean, he didn't fancy what Arsenal were, the ambitions of Arsenal had, and I don't blame him for that. You know, that team when we was what come second that year, we just bought Petr Cech. If we'd have gone out, you know, I think we bought El Neni for $5 million in January. But if we'd have gone out and been serious players there and then with the recruitment and bought a couple of players that all of us fans knew that we needed, we could. Which was a holding midfielder and a good centre half. Funny enough, we still need.
We still need the same, isn't it? You know, it's mad.
So the recruitment has been wrong, and it's been not just wrong for 2 or 3 years in who's ever coming in now. This has been going back in Arsene Wenger's year, 10 years down.
10 years.
10 years.
It's 10 years, yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically, you could even say that since we've been to the Emirates, we've never really recruited well. Now, they've got to start getting that right because other teams are recruiting and they're recruiting well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have to say, maybe it's been a curse. It's the recruiting curse. You know what I mean? So
the recruiting curse.
Yeah, that's what it could be.
You know, we're looking at the team now at the Emirates, and the question we're all going to ask is, why is the defence so poorly? Why? Is it that they're not good enough? Or is it that they don't work as a unit? Or is it that they're uncoachable? Because I remember people having a go at Steve Bolt saying he was part of the, you know, that great back 4-5. You know, why? What is he doing in training? Why isn't he coaching them? I don't think he got the opportunity to coach them. I'll be brutally honest with you, because there's certain traits that any ex-player who played in that era would know and see it of a back 4. And I've not seen it at Arsenal for donkey's years. Why are they so poor?
I can't see it's being uncoachable, because if they're not uncoachable, how have they got to become professional footballers and at that level? So I don't buy into that. A little bit, you know. Martin Keown was on TV the other week telling how, you know, going through things. You know, that's what you need. Someone in there like him, like Steve Boulder, must know all this sort of stuff and just say, right, this is what you've got to do and what you haven't got to do. I have to say that you've also got to want to defend, Kevin.
Yes, 100%.
You know, and I don't see that with our players. You know, you look at Martin and Bowley and Tony Adams, those sort of guys. Sol Campbell, you bring into that.
That pride
of defending
and keeping clean sheets.
Keeping clean sheets. It meant a lot. You know, it meant like. I don't know if football's changed. It meant, you know, like as you as a goal scorer, it meant everything to score. As a defenders, it means everything to
keep a clean sheet.
Nowadays, it means more to get an assist. You know what I mean? Like, I don't buy into all that. Like, you know, you've got to be able to want to defend, and the guys can do it. I have to say a big shout out to Kolasinac and Maitland-Niles yesterday. One wasn't even in the squad. The other one was on the bench. Both come in yesterday and showed a bit of character and just so they can do it. But they can't do it consistently.
Well, that's the issue.
And that's an issue. If you're a good player, you know, you become a professional footballer because you was a good player, but you was also consistent. If you'd done it 1 in 5 games,
you wouldn't be at Arsenal.
Level, you wouldn't be at Arsenal. You wouldn't have been it, you know.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, the standards have dropped, Kevin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you can have 2 or 3 bad games. I look at David Luiz. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we've had 2 away wins this season, and he's not playing in them. That says a lot, you know what I mean? But he's been allowed to just amble along with poor performances. That wouldn't have happened at Arsenal, you know, through the years. You know, and you look, I look at Arsenal, I remember Chris White coming through the ranks and all that, like, you know, and went on to win the Premier League, not Premier League, the League at Leeds United.
Yeah.
But you know, people going, well, he ain't a great player and all that, but he was a title winner.
He was a title winner. He knew how to defend.
Knew how to defend, come in and done a job, you know, and players like that. Willie Young wasn't the greatest in the name,
knew how to defend.
Defended properly, you know. This is what we've not got no more.
Lee, you know, and I want to raise this point and ask you a question because some of the fan base, you know, sometimes the club get linked with defenders, and the fan base turn their nose up at some of these guys, and I'm seeing some of these guys playing at other clubs, like Dunk, for instance. He defended fantastically against us at the Emirates.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good player, you know, and there's other players out there who, when we get linked to them, oh, he's not good enough, he's not this, he's not that. I just think we need defenders who are good at the basics.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this now, I got hoodwinked into it when we was linked with Johnny Evans. You know, back in the day of the video that I'd done and said we don't want Johnny Evans and all that, like. But because I was into the thing of the Emirates and what we should be expecting bigger and better players. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean to say that somebody like that can't come in and do the job, and I think that's something that I hold my hands up to.
You made a mistake on that.
Made a mistake on
because
that.
Look at Johnny Evans now. Johnny Evans
would walk into it.
He'd be the first name on the team sheet if he was at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, because he can defend properly. He's won titles. He knows how to do it, and this is why I can't understand sometimes the fan base that they think they just throw it away. Oh, he's not good enough. He is good enough.
Yeah.
He is good enough for Arsenal.
And you know, we made a mistake there, but you know, these things, because we've been wrapped up in what we expect. When you know, from our point of view, we are paying out top prices. You expect top players. Now, somewhere along the line, if from my point of view, say if Arsenal would have that season, and I'm not defending myself here, but if they'd have gone out and gone, oh, we're buying Pepe and we're buying Ceballos, and we bought I don't know, another £50 million player, and we bought Johnny Evans. Do you know what I mean? The fans would have took to that. But when you're just buying no one, and then you're linked with Johnny Evans, it makes you go irrational.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But if you'd have gone, oh, we're going here, bomb, we've got 5 players coming
and then with Shaw in the back.
We've got Shaw in the back with Johnny Evans. What a great move. But we didn't. We said, well, we're going to go for Johnny Evans and no one else.
And it was lastminute.com to get Louise, wasn't it? It was lastminute.com for Louise.
So that's me sticking up for myself.
Yeah, it's just you trying to get out of it, mate, yeah. So, okay. So where are our big name players? That was our first win yesterday since October the 6th. Where are all them big name players who we've got some talent in our team, but where have they been? Some have turned up, some haven't,
Yeah.
and some I don't know where they are. So, where are our big name players?
Well, you know, I looked at it yesterday, and at half time, you know, any Arsenal fan here, if you were to turn around and said to, in fact, there was one fan that did say yesterday, we'll win this 3-1, and I said, what are you drinking? I'll have some of that. But I don't think.
So you obviously had a couple of them.
I had a couple of them. I didn't think there was many Arsenal fans would turn around and say, we're going to win this 3-1. I think you'd have been very, you know, but we did. And I looked at it and said, right, who is going to stand up like yesterday? And a couple of them did. I felt that, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Everybody didn't play well in the first half. But when it come to it, Pepe stepped up to it. You know what I mean? The youngest kid, I think, has got a fantastic future. We're going to talk about positives later on. Martinelli steps up, you know. Kolasinac, I think, has got a lot of stick over the last few, but the last 3 games, he's done really, really well. He come from the stands onto the pitch yesterday and stepped up.
And done really well,
Great ball for the first goal. Yeah. So I look at him there. Then, when we got the equaliser, Kim, I felt then the likes of Aubameyang, he looked absolutely outstanding when he cut from there.
Playing through the middle.
As I say, Pepe did. You know, Granit Xhaka's got a lot of criticism, and I've got a lot of criticism because of what I thought. I felt that when we had that little spell of 15 minutes, he played well.
He was instrumental.
He was instrumental. Other than that, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that, like, but what you want about Xhaka? The same was everybody else poor in that sort of early part of the game, like, you know. But he did come for that first 15 minutes, and I think he's getting a little bit more stick than probably he should do. But I get why. Yeah. I get why. He's going to have to take time for him to. He's going to have to play a little bit better than 15 minutes to get the respect back of the fans. Right. Callum Chambers, I thought yesterday, defended really well. Yeah. Really, really well. Socrates done okay yesterday, so there was some big play, but we have relied too much on Aubameyang. You know what I mean? And you know, it was nice to see other players stepping up, and then him coming to the fore as well afterwards. You know, so you know, but listen, that's West Ham. It's 15 minutes into the set. There's certain players got to come and to the fore more and more.
Lee, Mesut Ozil. Obviously, he divides opinion. And there was a lot of clamour when he wasn't getting in the team because they wanted him in the team to be creative. I'm not just talking about yesterday, I'm just talking about all the games he's played since. Do you reckon he has excelled? Do you reckon he's been kind of okay, par? Or has he been probably a little bit below his standards?
I think I'm going to stick up for him in one sense. Freddie, for the life of me, I'll never understand it. Put him out wide for the first 2 games, didn't work. He come back in the game against Brighton and done a little bit better. I thought again yesterday, done okay, but is okay good enough? You know what I mean?
Okay's not good enough.
It's not good enough. In my opinion now, he's not justifying playing week in, week out. He's doing okay. Before all the people go on to you and all that, like, you know, you have to see how it is. You know what I mean? Forget about what he's earning. Forget about anything. I'm not interested.
It's not about that.
Not interested in that.
Production.
It's production. He's not going to go through tackles. He's not going to run and bust his guts. I get that. But when he gets on the ball, he's got to create. Now, he did do that yesterday with a lovely ball into Aubameyang for the third goal.
Yeah, for the third goal. And he backheeled it to Pepe. And Pepe reversed it back.
It's a good ball from Mesut Ozil, but I want more of that. I want more of that. I don't want to see it in little flashes here and there.
Fits and starts.
He's got to get on the ball, and he's got to, you know. I look at someone like Grealish. I know we've spoken about it before, but when he's getting on the ball and he's making things happen for Aston Villa, 60-70% of the game. I don't see that from Mesut. I don't see him wanting to do that. You know, whether his legs.
Why don't you?
I don't know. I think is he hungry enough for it? Is he willing to put his body on the line? I don't know. You know, you cannot doubt his ability. You cannot doubt that. It's proven. His ability is proven. He's got a great ability. But I'm going to say it now. I don't think we need a Mesut Ozil where we are at the moment. And that, I've said that for a minute time. If you're flying and playing, like when we was flying in that 15 minutes, Mesut comes to the fore.
Yeah.
But
when we're not,
and we're not in a position to be doing that all the time, I think he's a part of the big problem at Arsenal.
Do you think, Lee, when we're talking about big players now, do you think there could be a change where Ozil maybe goes on the bench and Lacazette goes and plays just in behind?
That's what something you said, like, you know, I wouldn't be against that. You know, something different.
Because he's another goal threat. Because he's another goal threat, you know. You know,
Lacazette is a completely different player away from home to his at home. He's a goal threat at home. Yeah. So there's got to be some way you've got to try and shoehorn him into the team. Yeah. The one thing that people are going to come back at us is, you know, you're criticising Freddie for not playing players in their right positions. Just trying to,
No, but Lacazette can play the 10.
Yeah, he can do.
He can play the 10.
He has played it before.
He has played it before. He can play the 10.
I would like to see that. You know what I mean? To see what he can do. We've got lots of games coming up, so I'm not adverse to that. I think Ceballos has got to come in and maybe do that as well. He's got to step up to the plate a little bit more, if I'll be honest. But Lacazette, I think, would be, you know, nice to see him just try that role. Sometimes in football, you know, you go back to other players like yourself. You went out to a wide position, excelled out there. Paul Merson done that when he went into from a wide left and excelled. And people looked at that and it suited his play. It might be that something like that might suit Lacazette, and we find the balance. So I'm all for trying that, and I think when we play someone like Manchester City, I think that we've got to have more goal threat because of what it is.
Definitely.
You know, and you would say that Lacazette is more of a goal threat than Mesut.
What do you want to see positive moving forward at Arsenal? Because it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. It might be only, you know, it might be 10. But I just think we've had enough negativity.
Yeah.
Haven't we? We've had enough negativity. Let's look at some positives.
Yeah, let's look at some positives.
You know, at the club and who we can recruit and whatever you think could be positive.
I think a massive positive for me is if the board come out and say, you know, we're going to invest in this club. We're going to, you know, we're not happy with the way things are going. It needs investment. We all know that it needs investment. Let the club come out and say, right, we're going to go and spend some money, get in some proper players, whether it be January or in the summer. Give us some hope. We need both. I think we need both. If Arsenal don't come out and buy someone in January, a couple of players in January, we're going to be very, very disappointed. People turn around and say, you can't buy good players in January. That's a myth.
Nonsense.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
If you want them, you get them. You know, Van Dijk left Southampton for Liverpool in January. Yeah. We got Aubameyang in January. These deals can be done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be a transfer.
There wouldn't be a transfer.
So, like, they can be done. Positive. I think the biggest positive for us, it cost us £6 million. Is
Gabby Martinelli.
You know what I mean? He's my favourite player now. He's my new favourite player now. I just love his work rate. I just love his enthusiasm to play. He's 19 years of age. Is he 18 or 19 now? I'm not too sure if he's turned 19 yet. Come from a different country, smash that myth that about settling down. He's just hungry. His desire. He wants it. He's a player that obviously has got so much self-belief because he's come over here and done it. I honestly think I've seen those chances missed yesterday. He made it look easy.
He took it so well.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer. He's the future of Arsenal. He's going to be the man up front. I think eventually, you know, he's going to start off wide and then move in. Yeah. You know, I look at him, and people were going mad about Jesus. You know, at City. We you know what I mean? Like,
we've got something special.
We've got something special with him. I think he's 10 times better than him now. You know what I mean? And I just love him. You know, and I think 18 years of age yesterday. He done the 90 minutes yesterday. He's got energy. He's just got everything. I love. He's in with the players. I just love him.
I think his enthusiasm is infectious.
Yeah. Even as a teenager, getting that, you know.
He's infectious. You know, when he scored, he picked the ball up and he done the fist and he was running back because he wanted to win. You know, that's a positive for me. A positive move I'd love to see is the board appoint a proper manager, a real manager, back him, say they're going to back him and back him. I'd love to see Arsenal recruit in January, recruit defenders, because I still don't think we are anywhere near our potential defensively.
No, we've got to sort that out.
And I've got to say, Torreira looked better yesterday.
I thought he played
than
well,
I've seen him, especially second up, in a long time.
Yeah, I thought he was, special mention of him, because I didn't mention him yesterday, and I felt that I've been very critical of him, to be honest, and I thought that he played really, really well yesterday. And I think that helped out. We looked a little bit more steady at the back. I think we've got a big worry though, Kev, a big worry on Bellerin and Holding. I said those injuries were difficult
to come through.
Both getting little niggly hamstring injuries and things like that, keeping them out now. I think that we've got to look to recruit to...
Got to get a right back.
Got to get a right back.
Got to get a recognised right back.
Yeah.
You've got to, and you've got to get a recognised centre half.
Yeah, two positions.
Yeah, two positions. Arsenal can't afford to mess about anymore because we know with injuries, when you're coming back, you haven't played for such a long time.
Yeah.
It takes the body probably 12 months,
9
to 12 months to readjust back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
And we're suffering because of the niggles.
Yeah, and we thought, Holding's coming back, Bellerin's coming back. We did say that it's going to take them a while. Maybe even get them a month's loan or something, get them some football.
Get them some football, but not this level.
Not this level, and then they come back next year. So I think it's imperative that we do recruit two big players from the back. And you know, the positivity also is to sort out Aubameyang and Lacazette contracts one way or the other.
Yeah,
one way or the other. But when you watch Aubameyang yesterday, we all love him.
Yeah,
and but we're not in a position where we can say we'll let you go for free in a year's time. No, unfortunately, we're not a Man of City.
We've made that mistake before. So again, this because we're being positive. You know, great is our goal scorer right now, but look, the contract's on the table. Aubameyang, Lacazette. If you're going to sign, let's do it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to sign, hey, listen, we'll work with you to get you out because we're going to have to replace you.
Yeah, exactly. You know? And I think that's something we've got to do. And if that is the case, let's be positive and be professional in the way we're going about and get the players that we want that are going to come. It's going to be very hard to replace. We know that, but at some stage, Kevin, whether you're positive or not, we will have to.
We will have to. Exactly.
Whether it be this year, 3 years' time, whatever, there's going to be a stage when we're going to have to.
Look, we're talking about Arsenal here, and the club keeps moving on.
Yeah, of course.
And we've got to be positive because, look, we were scoring goals before Aubameyang came, and we will score goals after Aubameyang is gone. So what the club have to do, the club have to start being smart about their recruitment.
Yeah.
They really do. I look at players who have to leave the club as well because, you know, there's a few balls up in the air with, like some maybe Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't quite happy a month ago. Torreira, maybe he's a little bit happier now, but he wasn't happy a month ago. You got Mustafis of this world who really should be sold. So there's still some moving and shaking, and that's why I want that positivity from the board to be able to say, right, we can take you out and we can replace you with this one. That should all be getting all into motion now. So when it comes to early January, they can make the move.
Yeah, exactly. And put, you know, I know it's just, results a funny thing. We're so much more positive.
Winning cures all.
Just because of, you know what I mean, of one result. But if we can, you know, look forward now, maybe get a big result against Man City, get another one, and then let's look on the positive side. We're 9 points off of top four. If we can get a good couple of results,
get a couple of players,
we could still be in with a chance. I know you people are going to think I'm mad because we've had one win, but that's what winning can do.
Yeah. Definitely.
Winning can change all things, you know. At half time yesterday, I think, oh no, got to come do this show again today. It's going to be all doom and gloom. you know, going to have a few more beers to get through it. But you win that game, and it just it's like the cloud's just gone. It's just gone. It's just gone within 15 minutes, and it was great to see fans jumping around and smiling, enjoying it all yesterday. And it was, you know, that is what you want, and you know, winning will breed positivity, you know, and we've got to do that.
Because Lee, you know, whatever anybody says, the fan base is split and all that. I don't think so. What I think is the fan base all want the same thing.
Of course they do.
It's just that they express it in a different way.
Exactly.
We all want to win.
Yeah.
We all want Arsenal to do so well. We all want Arsenal to be winners. That's what we want. We all want it, and that's what I think we're going to close this show on. We all want Arsenal to be winners, and we want the board to want us to be winners.
Yeah.
And they have to back this football club to be winners.
Yeah.
So, everybody, I've got to say thank you and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. We're probably going to see you. I'm not too sure if it's going to be a fortnight or 4 weeks.
Yeah, because I think it's New Year's, Christmas Eve next. Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Yeah. Well,
so
it'd be hard. It might be Lee on his own now, Joe.
Yeah.
So listen, thanks again. Leave your comments, and we'll see you probably again, as I said, probably in a month's time. So thanks for listening. And I'll say goodbye, Lee.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and we've been really appreciate it. We've been really enjoying the show, and we've enjoyed doing it all. And subscribe and whatever.
Don't forget to leave your comments, please. Don't forget to leave your comments.
They're telling us what to do here.
And all comments are good. Yeah. All comments are good.
Not all comments, but
all comments are welcome.
We'll take them.
We respect your opinion.
Not all of them, but I'll take them. Have a lovely Christmas, everybody.
Have a lovely Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.